WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. These are Edradours, both 14 years of age. Both were actually distilled on the exact same date. They're single casks on the 28th of November 2007, and both of these were bottled on the 26th of September 2022. 12 years in apparently first fill bourbon casks, and a further 2 years in now I have to speak German real quick. Spätburgunder, Barrique, American oak in this case, and Frühburgunder, Barrique, European oak. So Spätburgunder is nothing else rather than just what we know Pinot Noir. Yeah, the black. Yeah, Pinot, black, Pinot Noir. This is actually called, and I learned something today, this is actually called Pinot Noir Précoce. Precoce. Now, the Pinot Noir Précoce, as it's called in parts of Germany, Früh Early Burgunder, is a dark, black, blue-skinned varietal of grapes used for wine. And it is a form, better said, it's more of mutation of Pinot Noir, which differs essentially by ripening earlier than normal, thus the name of the use of the name Précoce, which means earlier French. While sometimes it's treated as a separate grape, others say it's exactly the same. And actually on the label of many bottlings, you'll just see Pinot Noir. It doesn't matter if it's the normal grape or if it's the early ripening grape. Now, this has been actually then selected and grown in various parts of Europe to actually and cultivated so that there is a special, unique moment here for the wine lovers. But for those of us who are normal people, they're going to be basically the same. Now, both of these are from the vineyard called Singer-Fischer here in Germany. They have about 14 hectares of grapevines. So it's not small, it's not large, but it is well known, at least in Germany. This cooperation started, according to my information here, the very first one that I found was 2012 bottled. So they've been doing this now for over 10 years that the vineyard Singer-Fischer has worked together with Edradour. They send them casks, they recast them, re-rack them, and then they bottle them and bring them back over here to Germany. So this, the Früh, the early Burgunder, has the number Whiskybase here of 221529, and there were 403 bottles. Over here we have the normal Pinot Noir, Spätburgunder, cask number 601, 602, and there was 383 bottles. Both of these have been watered down, diluted down to 46%. Both of them do say on the bottles and on the tins here, unchilled, filtered, and a natural color, which I really recommend putting that on every single bottle. Makes our lives easier to know what we have. Both of these cost about 99 euros. You can buy them for 110 if you want to someplace else. If you buy them direct at the vineyard with their online site, you actually get a bottle of wine extra with each bottle of whiskey. Hey, can't complain about that. A brotherhood bottle. All right, so they will send you the whiskey, a bottle, and a bottle of wine. So I think that's a very good thing. I have been talking, and I've actually forgot to pour some of this. Shame on me. I thought it was the whole time on my glass, just airing out a little bit. Nope. So, Edradour has been doing a lot of single cask releases into the German market. So let's go over here. I still have, for example, I did exactly the same type of video with the 2 Chardonnay casks. This was actually from 2022 at the beginning. I did the 3 special releases in cask strength for Germany. This is the bourbon. There was Marsala and the Bordeaux. Last year, the Edradour 22-year-old, I think, was my number 2 whiskey. The year before, it was Edradour Sherry 21-year-old. I like a great sherry cask matured Edradour. Yeah, I'm willing to pay a little bit of money. Now there is $200 on the table, or 200 euros here on the table with these two bottles. Let's see if they're worth their money. Both 14 years old, both received a 2-year finish in those casks, specially provided from the Singer-Fischer vineyard. And as I say, this is American oak and this is European oak, which I think is kind of cool that we can smell or maybe even taste the difference here. A little bit more of a acidity, a little bit more of a wood, less of a sweetness, and some darker berries. Over here, the American oak. I get the American oak really here. Freshly cut wood, a little bit more of a honey, a little bit more of a almost like vanilla sauce over wild berries from the forest. Yep, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting the vanilla sauce over those like raspberries and currants and things like that. Little tiny forest strawberries and so on. At the moment, I like the 601, the Pinot Noir, better than I do the 602 cask here. All right, let's go to 601. Let's try this first. Cheers, everyone. Every time I've tasted this, now this is the third time in my life, it's hot. I was expecting 46%, 14 years of age. Oh, this is going to be walking the park. No, it builds the heat. It packs a punch. There is wood. It's more of a vanilla sweetness, as I mentioned. That a little bit of that vanilla sauce you can use for desserts. There is a goodness here. If I dilute it down even further, I'm sorry for all those out there going, no, Jason, don't do that. Pulling it down to 43, 42%. It does get rid of some of that heat. It does balance out a little bit of that oak. And now I know that I have strawberries with vanilla sauce on them. It's a sea whiskey. I'm not 100% partial to that taste, but with water, it's a C. Without water, it's a C minus. It's a fairly long finish here. A very interesting whiskey. If I go to the website Singer-Fischer.de for Germany, it says here for the Pinot Noir, we have a dry and spicy whiskey with a very soft cassis aromas and also a little bit of vanilla. I called the cassis raspberries and strawberries with vanilla sauce on it. Yeah, they called it a touch of vanilla with cassis. Yeah, interesting, I must admit. 100 euros. I have a hard time paying 100 euros for something I would not gravitate to naturally. D plus. All right. So going over here to the European oak and the early Pinot Noir. It's interesting how different the oak moment is. This was more freshly cut, sawn oak American vanilla. And here we have a darker, almost a tad bit like a dark chocolate moment going on there. The fruitiness is not as in your face as this one was. There is a darker moment. There's a little bit more astringency as well. It tries to suck out all the juice from my gums here. and it doesn't pack the punch. It doesn't have the heat that this one does. So this one was a total of, as I said, 368, and here we had actually 403 bottles. What I can imagine is that the French oak didn't have as much angel share as the American oak, and therefore they could actually add more water to this from the cask strength to bring it down. Yeah, and there's more bottles, more water, higher proof at the end. Here we had lower proof in the cask strength, and angels took more, and so there's a little bit more of a punch there. Huh. Let's add a little bit of water as well. See if we can give this something else. The water makes it a little bit more floral. And what I sometimes get is a little bit of a mineral moment here. And it gets a little bit of a soapy moment as well. I must admit, darker tartar berries. This is much sweeter but much hotter. This is darker chocolates. This has the vanilla sauce. This has more of a tart, not perfectly ripe cranberry, currant moment going on here. Both of these are not really what I would buy again. Can I get the Edradour character of the whiskey? I'm not really sure. So I can always pull out a third glass here and go to my bourbon matured cask strength here with 59.1%, and just pour me a little bit of that and see what happens here. Vanilla, wood, a little bit of soapiness as well. That's the distillery character. This definitely has more than that of it. I do notice a certain association between the two. This could be a little bit different. I'm not sure, personal opinion, if the Edradour really matches perfectly with the Pinot Noir casks. I think Edradour matches perfectly with sherry. Edradour 12-year-old Catalonia. Oh yeah. My ex-sherry cask 21-year-old. Oh yeah. The Bordeaux. They do play around, they do experiment, they do some things. Marsala was excellent. Bottles left empty. Don't know if I ever get one of those again, but that was really nice. That was a perfect match. So, first question. What other whiskeys do you know of that have used Pinot Noir successfully? And if you can't answer that, of the Edradour special bottles that they put out, not the 10, not the 12, but maybe straight from the casks, maybe some other things, maybe in Barrique. What of the Edradour products can you highly recommend as well? So write those down in the chat so that we can learn from you and from your experience with this distillery and their products. I still haven't been to the distillery. I don't know if I'll make it this year over to Scotland. I'll be in Ireland and probably in the States visiting distilleries. I don't think I can squeeze in Scotland as well. But maybe next year, 2024, that could be the year that I go back to Scotland and visit some other distilleries I haven't seen yet. All right, thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others, and don't forget to write down in the product what Edradour products do you like, and or what other Pinot Noir cask matured or finished products from other distilleries can you recommend. WhiskyJason here. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.